MAGA might be over. It's eating itself alive in a way that's even more spectacular than anyone could have expected. Apparently, MAGA is dead is trending on Twitter right now, and Trump is saying the House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files. In the past 2 weeks, we've watched 47 publicly feud with Marjorie Taylor Greene. His economic policies are so bad that even loyal maggots can't deny it. The Epstein emails have even spawned memes like One Big Beautiful Bill and 47842. And the Epstein victims just dropped a really compelling video. I'll play it for you at the end of this. It's been hit after hit, and I'm here for it. It's like the news cycle went from flood the zone to out of control really fast. By the way, the Courier created a searchable database of the Epstein email files in case you want to see them without downloading them, since there are over 20,000 documents. I've linked it in the video description. I thought the MAGA is over trend would have happened way back when they passed that big billionaire bill, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. So let's have some fun and talk about the failures that are happening right now. I haven't turned on The View in forever, but when I saw that Marge was going to be on there, MAGA loyalist, MTG on The View, of course I want to see it. She's the person who compared 47 to Jesus. The Democrats and the fake news media want to constantly talk about President Trump is a convicted felon. Well, you want to know something? The man that I worship is also a convicted felon, and he was murdered on a Roman cross. She said that. So yeah, I want to see her on The View to see what happens. Look, she charmed those View hosts for sure. I don't know where she was media trained, but she is a master, and she's using that training to break from Trump. She even apologized for engaging in toxic politics during her CNN appearance. She is so effective that I think she knocked Trump off of his axis. Even his breakup truth post about her, it didn't burn. Out of all the things that this woman has actually done over the years, the best he could do was call her wacky and a lunatic. Beach blonde, bad built, butch body still lives in my head after all of this time. Donnie, do better. One aside, no matter what my thoughts on this woman are, that museum in Lyon, France did her dirty. That recreation of her ancestor is a permanent exhibition. It's literally the first exhibit when you walk into the museum. You can't convince me that they didn't use Marge as a reference. Madge has been pushing for the release of those Epstein files. But here's the thing, you know how the Dems on the House Oversight Committee released 3 emails from the Epstein estate that alluded to Trump knowing what Epstein was up to? It sent the Republicans into a tailspin. So the Republicans went ahead and released more than 20,000 emails without context because they said the first 3 emails were cherry picked. Releasing the rest of the emails would allow the public to figure things out for themselves. I swear, someone is playing chess here. Another aside, who uses emails like that? The only thing emails are good for these days is receipts. Seriously, who chats by email like this? I didn't even email like that in the 90s. I'd write an actual letter and put it in the mail. I'd even send a fax before an email. Nobody did that or does that, except for Tom Hanks in that movie about emailing. Back then, people had beepers and we made phone calls. I guess this was Jeff's way of gathering compromising information. If he can't get you on camera, he'll get you by email. I don't know. Anyway, back to Margie. I swear that woman is playing chess. She's on the oversight committee that dropped the 20,000 plus emails. I kind of want to know what she knows, but I don't actually want to know. What I realize is whatever's going on is bigger and broader and more disgusting than I could imagine. And I don't want that on my spirit. You know what I mean? We are talking about MTG, who wore a MAGA hat to a Biden State of the Union address. She's the same woman who has been one of Trump's biggest cheerleaders. She's not letting these files go. Again, she's on the oversight committee. Whatever she's seen has her hammering Trump. Trump's interview with Laura Ingraham didn't help him either. Now he's pro-immigration after filling ICE with Proud Boys. I mean, I don't know if they're actual Proud Boys, but they behave like they are. I always found it interesting that the Proud Boys' former leader is a dark Cuban American. It's not that he would be a part of that group. Instead, it's that group let him be the leader It's really perplexing. It would make more sense if he were more of a Marco Rubio type. Frankly, I'll never get it because I don't hate people for who they were born. Sometimes maybe because of what they do, but never because of who they are. It kind of reminds me of this time I ended up in a biker bar when I was in my 20s. Back then, I was a flight attendant, and my friend, who was also a flight attendant, would fly down to Daytona on her days off because she was building up her flight hours to become a commercial pilot. So I went down to visit her, and we went out with some of her roommates, all guys, all pilots, and they took us to this bar on the strip. The thing is, it was bike week in Daytona, so it was kind of hard for me to figure out which bar was an actual biker bar because there were motorcycles everywhere and people were dressed up in the biker attire. Well, turns out the bar that we went to was an actual biker bar. We weren't there for long. But while we were there, some of the older biker chicks came up to me and they sang me all these lovely praises, but they managed to follow each one of them up with something racially offensive. But they were like, "It's not about you because you're a good one." And I really think these people don't know any Black people, so they hate Black people just because, which is wild to me because, like I said before, it makes no sense to hate someone for who they are, but not for what they do. I bet those women from that biker bar are burning their MAGA hats right now and replacing them with an America First hat. They should have hated Trump all along for the things that he's actually done, but at least these people are finally coming around. They're basically in a revolt. And with that Mark Epstein email asking Jeff if Putin still had photos of Donnie servicing Bubba, I wonder when these people will start pressing for a new Russiagate. This MAGA breakdown has been a blast to watch. I do have to ask though, what happens after the split? The thing is, Vance is America first. So is Peter Thiel, Curvis Jarvin, and the rest of the tech bros. Would MAGA fall in line behind Vance? Tell me in the comments. Vance, he's been really quiet lately. I mean, maybe he's on a couch thinking about that hug with Erica Kirk. The only thing I've really seen about him lately is that his motorcade collided with itself on Friday and one of the officers is critically injured. I think the maggots are definitely waking up and perhaps they'll retire from their mental gymnastics too. What I said before still stands. I won't forgive the maggots. I don't hate them, but I don't give them space in my heart either. Moments before I started filming this video, I actually opened Ground News to see if anything breaking happened overnight. And there was. Overnight, Trump called on the House Republicans to release the Epstein files, and ISIS started terrorizing Charlotte, North Carolina. Then I checked my blind spot feed for news that's disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. This is how I use Ground News. Ground News, it's an app, it's a website that combines news from around the world all in one place, and it allows you to compare them. For every news source, you can see if they have a political bias, how reliable their reporting is, and who owns them. It's how I get my fill of news all in one place. Subscribe through my link to get 40% off the Vantage subscription. It's the one that I use to get unlimited access to every feature. Your subscription, it not only helps my channel, but it also helps support Ground News as it makes the media landscape more transparent. Now, here's that video that I promised you, and I'll see you on the other side. I suffered so much pain, so much pain.
So much pain. I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old. I was 16 years old.
I was 16,
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein. There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.